right. Like what's the meaning of life? Like what's the meaning of life? Tell me, are you ready to pay that price? Late nights, early morning sacrifice. They tried to lock me in the cage and that ain't right. Scheming cause I won't eat in at night. Everywhere they go, they take they pole, I'ma keep my pipe. Had to show them boys that I won't no hoe, had to earn my stripes. Gotta pour my heart on songs I'm oozing pain for life. This shit run through my veins, hope it stay like this for life.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of Chocolate Cake 101. I am Shayla Jade and I appreciate you joining today. Today, I feel like we have gone far enough in our self-concept series, and we have not talked about not responding to the 3D, not responding to reality. Okay, so it's funny because I actually did record this content and we talked about it. I just didn't release the content. When I went to edit it, all I could hear was cicadas. I was in this beautiful surroundings. I was near the lake, but it was just, all you could hear was cicadas. So, but yes, not responding to the 3D. This is going to be beautiful because I feel like this is pissing me off. Hold on, we're not about to do this shit, bro. It just is what it is. I was trying, y'all. I really was. Okay. Are we better now? All right. Perfect. Now, let's talk. Not responding to the 3D. So first of all, what is the 3D? The 3D is what's happening around you now. Anything that your brain perceives and your body interprets through your five senses. I've talked about this so many times. Your sight, your smell, your taste, your hearing, your touch. Anything that your body perceives vibrations through those senses and translates it that way for you, that is your 3D. That is your third density, your third dimension reality. That's what you call real, okay? So, before things become 3D, a lot of people want to pretend like if you can't perceive it through those senses that it does not exist. However, we all believe in past energies that used to be on this earth that we still feel like exist, whether you want to call it a god, a devil, a demon, an angel, a ghost, an ancestor, whatever. And everyday things happen that science and magic does not explain. Of course, magic's not going to, because magic is dark. Of course it's not going to be explained. But whatever, what I'm saying is all day, everyday things happen that you're like, whoa, it's unbelievable, or it's magical, or it was a miracle, or it was something that was outside of what you perceive to be logical. So we say these things don't exist, but like I said, all day, every day it happens. That is because there is a whole life, a whole universe, a whole multiverse going on outside of what you are perceiving. We are itty bitty bitty beings in this grand spectrum of things. And that doesn't mean you're not powerful, because you actually are very powerful. You have the same makings within you, the same energy within you as everything that is so powerful. So you are powerful too. And that's what this whole thing is about, being in your power, understanding your power, learning your power, and growing through your power. Now, when it comes to the 3D, and what we perceive as what makes the 3D, it is your mind and your emotions. I have notes that I'm looking down on. Your mind is your masculine energy, like the sun. That's your electric energy. That's your focus. Your emotions is your feminine energy. That's magnetic. That's the moon. That is your innate being that will attract what you need for everything that you want to happen. The seed in the soil attracts everything necessary for its evolution. That's your magnetic energy. So together, the sun being cosmic, the emotions of the earth being magnetic, you are an electromagnetic being, and that creates what you perceive here. Your emotions on how you feel about everything plays a key part in what you are going to perceive. It is a true belief. It is a real belief. It is a believed belief that you live in a multiverse. You live in a realm of endless possibilities, and you get to create the frequency on which you live life. I talk about it all the time, and we're going to talk about it today. Emotional frequency chart. A lot of people talk about they don't know what emotions are for. I've talked about emotional intelligence for so many, emotional frequency. I've talked about emotional intelligence so much. If you have not seen any of my videos about emotional intelligence or emotional whatever, I'm going to put a link at the top because I really am working on it. I just realized you have to have a desktop to do those cards. And my computer was in my storage, so I finally went and got it. And now we about to be... And now we're about to be good. So go check out those videos on my page if you have, and if you haven't, just go check them out again because it's great stuff. In fact, I'm gonna watch it again too today. So I talk about the emotional chart and your emotions. A lot of people don't understand what your emotions are for. I should actually copy and paste it and show it up here. You can Google emotional chart, and so many people have the chart, the frequencies. Basically, how you are going to live out your day in general, how are you going to live out different things specifically in general, is going to be based on how you feel about it. So it's going to be like how you feel about yourself, like the area. Then it's going to be like how you feel about money, how do you feel about love, how do you feel about women, how do you feel about men, how do you feel about your body, how do you feel about your health, how do you feel about your boss, how do you feel about your children, how do you feel about driving in traffic, how do you feel about the government, how do you feel about everything. It's going to, what happens to you and what you experience is going to be played out based off of how you feel about it, and because those are going to bring those experiences to you. I believe I talk about it in the emotional intelligence video when I talk about how the universe is a magnet and it's going to bring you whatever energy you're giving it. So it's matching your energy. So if you say, what I say? If you cry, your mama's going to say, I'm going to give you something to cry about. Well, the universe does the same thing. Oh, you want to cry? Let me give you something to cry about. Oh, you want to be happy? Let me give you something to be happy about. So it works literally both ways. So this is the reason why if something in your life is going how you don't want it to, if you are experiencing something that you'd rather not, your best bet is to not respond to it in a negative way. They call this ignoring the 3D. And we're going to talk, that's what I'm talking all about right now. So, when they talk about ignoring the 3D, you can literally ignore it, and how you're going to respond and how you're going to ignore it is going to differ case by case. If it's something that you can't ignore, if it's something that's right in front of you, how far has it played out? There's so many different things you have to look at to see how you want to do that. But basically, when you respond negatively to a negative situation, you are saying a few things. You are saying that you accept the experience. You don't like it, but you accept it. You're saying, let me read all this and then I'll say what I want to say. You're saying you accept the experience. You're saying by default, you're giving the experience your power. You're choosing to continue. You're choosing to continue the drama, the cycle. And you are hitting a ceiling. That's a great point. So a lot of times when things don't work out, this is my Amen Ra. I mean, not my Amen Ra. Wow. This is my Tibetan. So when things don't work out, a lot of times it's because you're hitting a ceiling towards your evolution. And how you respond to it is that ceiling. You're working out triggers. You're working out trauma. Those are the things that you need to work out to get to the next step. Okay? A lot of times it's going to be consistency, it's going to be discipline, it's going to be something in the lines of the everyday to day, what you need to do to get to that next level. But when we respond to it negatively, it's like we're hitting the ceiling and coming back down. We're running away from it. You're blocking it. You're saying, I can't handle this. You're essentially saying that I can't handle this. So now you can go back to the level until you can handle it. It's kind of like an astronauts when they're taking off in the rocket and they're sitting. Whether it's true or not, you guys, I'm just giving you the story. They're sitting in the seat and they're breaking through the ionosphere and it's rocky and there's turbulence and they're sitting there, or even like a plane, right? There's turbulence and it's and then pop, they break through and all is well, and it's quiet, and it's peace. It's beautiful. It's easy. But you just have to relax. You can't freak out. You can't get mad. You can't respond in a negative way. So let's build on that for a few more minutes. Because, I want to keep this short. Okay, so what I'm talking about is, I don't want to really give examples. This I mean everything, okay? You can say whatever you want. I mean everything. If someone is bringing you drama, if your bank account is not the way you want it to be, if your money situation, your car situation, your boyfriend, your husband, your wife, your children are acting crazy, what you want to do, depending on what it is, like I said, if you don't have to respond to it right away, give it some breaths. Because what you're wanting to do is control the situation. Dr. Wayne Dyer says, I can control anything if you can control anything if at first you can control yourself. So you want to give it some breaths. Because a lot of times we can perceive things through our eyes and they weren't even what you thought it was. So chill out, give it some breaths. And then you want to respond that you believe is going to be to the best ability of you and everyone in the situation. And a lot of times you may or may not like the people that you're involved with. So maybe just wish peace to the situation. I'm really big on not wishing against anything, not pushing against anything, not wishing ill on somebody. And that's because I'm going to do a whole build on the whole love conquers all thing. But it really does behoove you to not send negative energy to people. Because the universe gives you what you send out. So if you're sending out something on a negative frequency, you have to be on that negative frequency in order to send it out. And you're just opening yourself up to bullshit that you don't want to be in. So if you don't want to experience it, don't wish it on somebody else. Don't call it on somebody else. And even though people give you negative responses and negative things, it's because they haven't grown past that point. If you have, then act like you have. Act better. Be better for the both of you. You see what I'm saying? Sometimes people need help, and they show that through negative energy. They show that through negative emotions. They show that by hurting you. You have to be the bigger person. You have to be the consciousness, the wisdom, the patient one, the grace. You have to have grace and be the one that moves the whole situation into a better place. Sorry, but I want to testify one more thing. Another really good example that I've been waiting to say, and I've actually talked about this in Sammy Ingram's group. She's on YouTube, Self-Concept Coach. She's amazing. Everybody talks about her. She confirms. Anyways, so about 10 years ago, I went to the doctor and they did my blood work, and they sent me to a specialist, like an ophthalmologist, an entomologist. They sent me to a specialist, and they did some more blood work, and they were like, okay, you have kidney disease. The doctor looked at me, and he was so nonchalant about it. And I was like, he ain't even serious about this. I'm not going to be serious about this. No, I don't. It was so outside of real. I decided I was not about to boo-hoo. I was not about to cry. I was not about to even accept this as my reality. I was just like, no, I don't. And kept it moving. I went back to my regular doctor, went back to the ophthalmologist, had to do more tests. I didn't have it. I didn't have kidney disease. But it was because I didn't accept it and because I didn't go crazy about it. I feel like had I boo-hooed, let's set up these appointments for, what is it called? Dialysis or whatever. Now I'm on a whole nother path. My life could have taken a whole nother turn for something different. And I'm not saying don't trust your doctor. Trust your doctor. But trust yourself and trust the universe and do what's best for you and work on yourself, and then allow the doctors to make whatever they're going to do easier. So shout out to all the doctors, shout out to everybody, but also shout out to the God within you. Let's keep this episode going. So to give an example, my partner started his own business, and he already had already had everything going on for him. So he's booking appointments, and one lady in particular, we'll call her Laura, she had not confirmed his email. So he already booked the appointment. They talked about what he needed. She ordered the parts. Everything was beautiful, and all they were doing was planning the date for him to come, the appointment, and confirming it. He sends her the email. She has not responded. He sends her another email. She has not responded. Now this is going to be, I think, like the next day or within the next 2 days. So he needs her to respond so that he can confirm her appointment. So he calls her, she does not answer. So he says to me, oh, she's flaked on me, basically canceling it. I said, if you don't know the situation, why would you assume that? Why would you respond that way? Why would you think that's what happened? Because you don't know the situation, this situation can play out in 10,000 different ways. So just as easily as you are to assume something bad, you can easily assume something good. I said, here's the deal. We're not going to play this game. We're just going to assume what's happening with Laura. We're going to assume that she's busy because she's in meetings all day, because her business has just flourished and she got more business than she realized. So she's been in meetings and has not been able to call you back. However, and it's nothing bad, it's good. Her business is doing great. However, she's about to call you back at her earliest convenience and confirm with you and all is well. He looks at me with this weird, are you serious look? And then he breathes and he decides not to not to argue for his limitations, not to push against what I said. So he picks up his video game. He says, okay, picks up his video game, and we start talking about other things as he's playing. I kid you not even 10 minutes later, his phone rings. He looks at it, looks at me, picks it up. Hello, Laura. Oh, hi, yes, today is going well. Oh, you've been in meetings all day. Oh, okay, well, I'm glad to see that business is good. Okay, you're confirming that exactly what I just said, son. Exactly what I just said, because you get to assume your reality, but you got to do it from a place of peace and power and not from a place of anger. Because anything that you do, I'm not saying that you can't get what you want in anger, and I'm not saying that you can't get what you want in failure, because people do it all the time. But coming up from a place of struggle is unnecessary when you could have just as well came up from a place of peace and power and been calm about it and not had to struggle. So don't struggle. This is not just this. I'm talking about anything. When you're talking about your money, when you're talking about love, stop assuming that he's ignoring you. And I'm not, hey, he might be. And that's something that's for a whole nother build. But stop assuming he or she is ignoring you when they're not calling. Assume that they're busy and that they're going to call you right back. He's just busy and he can't wait to call me back. Don't assume that your bills are this or that this is going to happen. Even if it's the rules, don't make assumptions that you don't want. Don't assume your kids are going to be bad and then treat them that way. When they get bad, when they do bad things, don't get rowdied up. You have to control the energy because you get to change it. If you stay calm and in your power, and I'm not saying love and discipline don't exist in the same realm, because they do. However, if you're responding from a place of anger, then you have no control. Unless you have already predetermined that that's how you're going to respond. Anger is not bad. It just needs to be disciplined. See what I'm saying? I feel like we've talked a lot about not responding to the 3D enough today. There's more that I could literally go, but I'm trying to keep this under 20 minutes. So that is the build. Like I said, you can change anything if at first you can control. You can change anything if at first you can change yourself, which starts with taking a breath and responding with peace and with power, or at least responding with control, like you know what you're going to do and it was your plan. You see what I'm saying? Don't just allow yourself to freak out. Understand that everything that I do, I want to do from a place of what I want, not what I don't want. So arguing for my limitations just because I believe it's reality ain't working anymore. And then a lot of people, I got to do a whole build on delusional, because a lot of people say this is delusional. It's not delusional. It's creating your reality. Or you can even say it is delusional. They also said Albert Einstein was delusional. They said Michael Jordan was delusional. They said Steve Jobs was delusional, because that's what a visionary is. I'm not responding to reality, I'm creating it. And that's what not responding to your 3D is. I can get mad if I want this to be mad, or I can respond with peace and power and let this play out in a calm and peaceful way that is benefiting for us all. I am Shayla J. This is Chocolatecake101. If you like this episode, please be sure to like, share, comment, subscribe, screen hashtag, record, screenshot, send it to your friends, talk about it. Let me know. Have a good day, my lovers. Your love, peace.